Hello, hello. Welcome back to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. We are playing this on an emulator and not the Switch 2, which is also an emulator. That was released recently. In fact, it dropped on Friday, I believe. So for all of you who completely fucked up your boycott and decided to buy the Switch 2 anyway, you can now play this game on the Switch 2 if you've paid your yearly $50 tithe to Nintendo. If you haven't, well, I guess you're really up shit creek then, in the immortal words of Juliet Jake Blues. But we've got some items we can take off of our random shadow Pokemon that we've gotten here recently. Some more type damage boosting items here. For all of the plus 10% damage for that type of move they give, I believe. Yeah, it's 10%. It's got to be 10%. And I've got to say that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my party in the future, because it is becoming pretty clear to me that this party is going to want some upgrades. And I've taken a look at some of the Shadow Pokemon lists, and there are some Pokemon in the future that might be kind of good for us. For example, a grass type at all. I mean, Shroomish is probably all right, but I don't like it that much. I may change my mind later. Either way, though, Flareon probably can be substituted with our old buddy Houndoom over there. And I'm definitely thinking maybe Dugong would be preferable to this field line here, but I'm not sure. That said, Seal does get Surf as one of its moves when it becomes less of a shadow Pokemon. So there's another thing in its favor. Can we give Ursaring... do we have an item that gives extra... physical extra normal damage? I don't think we do. Yeah, we don't have one of those yet. So we're a little bit up the creek without a paddle on that one. We're gonna go in here and we're going to do a quick little Coliseum battle course here. I don't think we can access Realgam Coliseum yet, and that might even be too high level for us anyway, so yeah. There are no battle sets like this from Fennec Coliseum, unfortunately. Haxor, wow. What an incredible name. I think this is our preferred course of action. Possibly. I mean, our preferred course of action truly is go find somewhere with more experience rewards, really, but hey. Oh wow, Silverwind. That's still not a good move. At least I think that's what it was. Gust is the tornado-y thing. Oh yeah, this trainer just has a bunch of baby Pokemon. In fact, it might be multiple Pichus, which is monstrously a bad choice. Oh yeah, Ancient Power should do good enough here, right? Yeah, because... Hey, we got the all stats boost. Hell yeah. The mythical Omni boosts on that move. Unfortunately, we did get confused there, but... Oh, these things happen, you know? Whatever, let's just toss around some Psybeams. It'll work out, probably. Of course, my Pokemon being confused makes them more of a threat to themselves than anything this trainer can throw out there. Like, this field is absolutely taking more damage than if any of these used actual attacks on it. That Cleffa was only able to do any damage, basically, because of the same type attack bonus. Yeesh. Although, shockingly, the Togepi didn't faint in one hit. Must be why it's worth a little more experience. I'm pressing the button, game. Uh-oh. I don't think it's my controller, but I am disconnecting and reconnecting it for a second. Well, that did fix it, so whatever was wrong. What, I accidentally somehow end up in the Xbox menu or some bullshit? Fuck you, Microsoft. Or should I say micro slop? Because apparently that makes them very upset. Well, here's what I have to say is, if you don't want people to call anything you create slop, don't create slop. It's genuinely as easy as that. Anyway, yes, to note, I was clicked into the emulator window there when I was having the button failure. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was quite odd. Cast form almost has stats compared to some of these Pokemon, but that's a very big almost. Because it's 70 across the board, which is not much. But when you're in an entire area of basically just babbies that we're still trying to pretend are worth experience, that might actually be halfway decent for that sort of location. Note the words might, almost, and halfway. We're still not exactly talking about anything worth writing home about, but still. Oh, you did actual weather things. Okay, so now cast form is a real Pokemon. If only you could have lived long enough to at least cast Weather Ball with it. Unfortunately, that shit ain't happening. Get that thing out of here. Besides, I'm pretty sure Bulbasaur's Weather Ball would hurt more. Eesh. I think the entire Bulbasaur line can learn Weather Ball, and not just Venusaur. Because that's like a move tutor move or something. I think. As that guy just flops over. It's incredibly goofy looking. Just how fast and like snappy of a thing it is. Magnemite and Makuhita. Well, I can tell you this much. Makuhita probably dies instantly to Psybeam. It might tank because Makuhita is vaguely durable. Unfortunately, he did that. Well, then I guess our whole theory doesn't matter right now. And Magnemite is far and away the strongest enemy Pokemon that I've faced yet by damage. And also, like, way easily the best type. I mean, holy heck. Electric Steel? Especially pre-Gen 6 Electric Steel? That's kind of good. There's a lot of reasons why I usually pick up a Magnemite in a playthrough if I'm able to, because it's just a very strong Pokemon with great utility. And you're using Sonic... Oh, you're targeting Baltoy. That's why I was about to be like, what? Why would you do that? That's much weaker than that Thunder Shock you did, which is really saying something. Oh, well, level 28 for Baltoy. That's great because it evolves at level like 36 or something. So anything I can do to increase that EXP a little bit, fake out on Spheal, that is probably fine, because this should do some pretty good damage. I don't know if it's going to be a kill because it's neutral, but yeah. So unfortunately, we do have to spend another turn of watching this thing get absolutely whomped because we still go faster than it. I don't think Meditite is that fast anyway, so... Now, if it was Metasham, that might stand a chance of being threatening, but probably not. And that guy is toast. Sir, give me your lunch money. Or hand it over to the person at reception so that way I can pick it up. However that goes. I don't think we need to hit the healing machine after a battle course here, but we'll do it anyway. And before I continue with the plot, I am actually going to go see if we can take on Realgam Coliseum. I highly doubt it. Besides, though, that's probably where all the high-level dudes hang out. I also should look and see if Mount Battle is available, because I believe what I heard is that you can actually start on Mount Battle pretty early in the game. So just watch as this becomes the side quest stream. And yet we don't have battle CDs to do. Yeah, we can earn Poke coupons here. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be open yet. Let's go and take a look at Mount Battle and see if we can go get into some fights or something. Actually, I'm kind of curious. What do you guys got for? Oh. Oh yeah, you guys have some actually really good TMs and stuff. So depending on how much we can do here, I have no idea. If we'd even get enough battle coupons to buy anything good, but maybe we would. Maybe we could pick up Flamethrower or Ice Beam or something, or who knows. Level 9 for these. Wow, they start pretty low. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be worth absolutely jack shit. Maybe by the end of the bracket it will have some value, but I don't put any real I don't put any stock in that, that's for sure. Wow, that was a ridiculous amount of damage. Even for a crit. Again, that thing is level 9. I don't care if we're weak to it, because, jeez. Oh, fuck. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm sorry, this is what I get for multitasking, but still. Yeah, Corphish is not a dark type yet, so... we should be good. Yeah, especially because nothing here is too fast. We might need help taking out the Spoink in one turn, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, because it's so low level, that's fine. Oh, this guy's a navigator instead of a sailor. I guess because he's not swole enough to actually sail. Or something. And he's got literally just one Pokemon. Are you kidding me? You insult me, game. Get this shit out of here. Yeah, probably a little bit, but I didn't realize that I could do this early, so... Hey. And yet another guy with literally just one Pokemon. From this fun old man. Wonderful class title, by the way. I really enjoy these games for a lot of reasons. And stuff like that absolutely helps. Yep, we got some goofball dog and a Sunkern, which honestly, barely a Pokemon. That thing has the lowest base stats out of anything that's not basic form wishy-washy. And even then, at least that has some, like, distributed, I think. Not well or anything, but hey. They should have given schooling form Wishy-Washy some speed. that is still a thing that is missing despite its extremely high stats total. Yeah, it actually gets slower in its school form than in its regular... Only by like 10 base points, but that's still a pretty large percentage considering. I mean, hell, give that thing another 80 speed. Fuck it, make it 700 base stats. It'll still fold like a cheap shirt when somebody hits it with one attack. It has no HPs. Yeah, once again, this remains a basically undefeated team here. I mean, we take damage. Obviously, the problem is that everything is so weak here that it doesn't matter, but the fact that this is still proving to be a good lead pair-up in terms of our attack types, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, just click buttons until we get there. Oh, see, you've got Baltoy out here now, too. This is a shockingly decent Pokemon. Heck yeah. Although, for some reason, Mudslap is going to miss it because of Levitate. If I were to do that. Which I won't, but also it's very funny because that's not necessarily something that should happen there. But okay. I get it. These games are quite simple in how they operate. And really, we can just hit this thing with whatever. I was kind of tempted to hit it with Mudslap to see how badly that would chunk it. Maybe it would land a kill, I don't know. I doubt it, but... Okay, we finally get to a guy with a unique model. Oh, he gets boss music too, which is very funny because, I mean, this dude's just going to be sending out normal types, isn't he? Well, he's got him a chop at the end there. That's not quite a normal type. It's also not quite good, but I digress. Yeah. Neat. We got 200. Yeah, I didn't think it would be worth much, but nice anyway. I'm sure that farming those out would take quite a lot of time, actually. Although, granted, that probably was only like 20 minutes at most. And we get the Macho Brace. That is used to increase our... Yeah, that increases our effort value gains, but it makes us slower. Excuse me. Oh, bro only has one Pokemon. Are you kidding me? This is a bad strategy in doubles, you fool. That's a good way to get absolutely squished. I mean, granted, again, we're not talking about super strong trainers at this point, but still. A Wooper and a Natu. And yeah, here's this guy. He's like the male bodybuilders, but gangly. Although, really, these models are still pretty excellent. And hey, Shuckle, that's our first Pokemon that has stats. It's not good, obviously. It still doesn't really pass muster for this, but, I mean, credit where it's due. An attempt is being made. And we didn't one-shot that why not. That might be dangerous. It's alright, Counter and Mirror Coat are targeted, so... it might not do anything for us, you know. Might not have to worry. Fun animation there. You know what, sure, let's just go for the Psybeam now that we're weakened. That's still like a 45 base power psychic move, so... yeah, I was gonna say, it should still probably do about the same damage as Ancient Power. If not more. And I said psychic move, but I specifically meant special move. This guy has a Cedo and a Ladybug. A Ladiba. Let's just go ahead and completely annihilate both of these goofballs. Okay, here we're not going to be able to exploit weaknesses. We just have to hit hard. Man, I think we can do that. Just hit this thing with whatever. Let's do this, and that should cover things. And yeah, that character has a model that is basically just another model, but the textures are recolored for some strange reason. But you see that a couple of other places. I don't think there's any unique character models in here except for the zone leaders. Yeah, no, they certainly don't do that. So what happened here? Ah, I see. Only the second most dangerous monster in that part of the game. Mostly because you can just bull rush it and it'll be like, oh yeah, that extremely disgustingly strong triple fireball I can do. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Then it just hits you with a garbage physical attack. But that means you saw the evil and intimidating horse a lot more instead, which really sucks to fight. Also, this trainer has a level 10 Silcoon in addition to this level 15 Slugma. Well, I guess you gotta do a lot of work to make Slugma look strong, but that might be going a little too far. I mean, yeah, you can do that. What's the third Pokemon? I didn't see. Oh, okay. It's a Larvitar. Well, that thing's not going to last long either. They're sort of trying to offset these guys' low levels, I guess, by giving them one really shitty Pokemon that's at a higher level. Oh, God, I did not realize that it had no limits at all. And yeah, I remember that the item cap does... that there are problems there because, yeah. Because I read that somewhere. Also, Bob Eldoff over here has what I think is a unique model, at least slightly. It's very similar to a lot of others, but unique nevertheless. Unfortunately, no one-shot there for us, so Baltoy took some damage. Slightly unfortunate. I don't think Aurora Beam is going to do super effective damage, but we'll use it there anyway, just because why not? Yeah, I mean, obviously we have enough levels over this guy to make it super easy, but I had this moment of like, am I sure that's going to not do super effective damage? But yeah, because it's water grass, which is a really well-covered type combination. Because it resists electric and obviously grass. And it, well, pardon me. Grass resists electric and grass. Water resists ice. And fire. It doesn't resist bug or flying, though. So it's basically... And freeze dry doesn't exist in this generation, so that can't be a thing to worry about, really. Also, this guy is really stepping it up here. He's got a Raichu. That thing can probably outspeed any member of our team. And it's throwing out T-Bolts. That is rough, but I guess it might be to be expected from Raichu, actually. But still. Eesh. Definitely a huge difficulty spike here. That's for sure. Well, again, I guess you've got to offset having only one Pokemon in this entire group in some way. Oh, and he's going to start doing double team shit. Okay. That's good. I'm glad for that. Thankfully, we didn't care about the evasion up. And we can accuracy debuff him, which... you know, hopefully will work out for us. Plus, we didn't have to worry about the evasion there for the quick attack. Thankfully, it just connected. Thank you, Flareon. You're doing kind of good here. You're doing something useful for me. I was gonna say, are you gonna also be another solo guy here? No, you've got a Togetic and Goldeen. Now, Togetic is part flying, so we can throw an ice attack at it, and it should hit like a truck. Again, assuming we don't get T-Bolted out of nowhere, which I think Togetic can actually learn T-Bolt, so that might be a problem. With any luck, we'll be fine. And yeah, this thing is pissing everywhere. Oh, god damn it. Confusion. That's a problem, because... yeah, that Confusion RNG is just like... yeah, the era when it's a coin flip is just massive amounts of Garbolium for you, because that... it never feels like it's 50-50. Because... yeah, we landed the Confusion, and We had that before, right. That's my bad. I forgot because it actually didn't have an effect last time. Oh, we got made drowsy. Well, a few more levels and we'll evolve into Hypno. Or something. Anyway, we're just going to throw more attacks toward Togetic and try to take it out now. Because I think it's much more of a problem than Goldeen would be. Although Goldeen is a flail bot, so that could actually be an issue. And we're getting both of our Pokemon yawned here. That's extremely annoying. Because it's like, hey, yeah, I love having to split my experience. We'll just let Baltoy sit there. Because it's far and away the stronger Pokemon of our two up there, so... send out Houndoom instead, I think. And... let's go for Psybeam. This is definitely a bit of a gap in power level. There is not a great place to train outside of certain percentages, I feel like. And I'm not necessarily the most favorable towards that, to put it nicely. But hey, thankfully Houndoom is fast as fuck, so we'll be able to complete this fight pretty easily. Like, I think the last bracket should probably have been in the 20s or so then. But setting that part aside, okay, alright, so I think we just body slam the Flaffy and then Psybeam for coughing, because we can't hit it with ground moves. Not that that would be the ideal damage source, but... oh, it lived. It could click self-destruct. Let's go for Aurora Beam instead and clean out this coughing real quick with Psybeam. Vampy! That's a good Pokemon. I like that one. Do I have I don't have a... I didn't change my gift sub-alert from the default at all. And I have no idea why. I guess I never thought that it was a thing I had to do a different one for. I'll have to fix that at some point. So for now, I just have a regular sub notification. I guess there's also the part where it's like I don't expect to get gifts or anything like that anyway, so... because I'm nobody. I don't have an audience. Ooh, Spheal is at level 31. I believe it will evolve next level, so I can probably just feed it my rare candy and be like, hey... we've got another Pokemon that's partially evolved here. Well, part of the way up its ladder. Alright, let's take a look at this thing real quick. Level 32, and then evolves into Walrein at 44? That's a weirdly, low level, actually. I thought it would be at least 48. Anyway, I didn't use that rare candy already, did I? I did. Oops. Well, that's okay. And yeah, I might change up the sub-alerts at some point. I just have to actually get around to it and decide what I want to do with that. Yes, sir, I sure do like them. A goofy-sounding individual. If I could do a proper Bullwinkle voice, I mean... I guess I would in that case, but hey. Yeah, we don't have a very good counter to Psychic right now. Or Psychic to Dark right now, rather. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to get something on our team that can do that. Breloom at least would get the fighting type, so... Ooh. Rock Slide, huh? That's actually a threatening move, considering. You know what? We're gonna go all in on the nose pass because it does spread damage. That could be a problem, even with the fact that Baltoy doesn't take much damage from it, but Sfeel takes a good chunk. Dumb floppy arms that thing has. It's fantastic. Yeah, just ancient power from there. That should be fine. I mean, it could be a lot better, but unfortunately, Dark is immune to Psychic. Because Game Freak was like, we gotta take him down a peg, and then they got maybe a little too enthusiastic about it, actually. It's not like Psychic didn't just die a death otherwise. I remember Goldar. Not really, no. Ah, I see. So this is not a good pairing for our front runners here. We don't have a great way to break Fortress. We just have to kind of bonk it a bunch. I'm assuming that... Oh, it didn't actually protect again. I was waiting for it to do that because of reasons. Those reasons being, that's what I usually expect out of these guys. No, it's going all in on those recoil moves now, huh? And hurting itself in the confusion. Translator's note, by confusion, I mean poor choices on the part of the other guy. That technically counts as confusion, doesn't it? Except for all the ways in which it doesn't. See, that'll do neutral damage, and it's not a whole lot of it either, because I think Baltoy does not have great physical attack, and also Fortress is definitely a little bit more physically defensive. But my other options were just kind of like either bad or still shit in other ways. Hey, do you want an attack that does almost nothing or an attack that does almost nothing? Oh, yeah, give me that attack that does almost nothing. Hell. We are not suited to take out steel types. Not with that lead lineup anyway. On the other hand, we do have a couple of fire types that could just eat this thing for breakfast. I just didn't want to split the experience more. We are here to level, and goodness knows we don't need to make it more of a pain in the ass. Anyway, what level is Baltoy at? 30? Okay, I can put Flareon up front for a bit here. But also, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. The window of bootleg stuff on eBay that I've been looking at back here, started digging through one seller, and they're selling a bootleg of the Balatro Jimbo plush, and that... I'm not surprised that that's a thing, but it does make me a little bit upset. Also, this guy's class is curmudgeon. That, never mind. Whatever I was saying, who gives a shit? This is funnier. And we've got a Corsola and a Linoon, so this is a really garbage set of Pokemon for me to be starting with here, but... Animated object. I mean, it's just a stationary plush thing. I'm just kind of sad about it a little bit, but... On the other hand, that does kind of remind me, oh, yeah, I forgot that that was... I wonder if it's even possible to obtain a legit one anymore, actually. It might not be a thing I can even do, so... If I wanted one of those, I might have to, like, theoretically just go bite the bullet and buy a bootleg. But I don't know off the top of my head, so... Because there was an official one for at least a period, obviously, as you can probably guess. Is there a particular store in here, or do I have to go through Fangamer to go look? Because I think Fangamer has... Yeah, Fangamer absolutely has Balatro merch. They just don't have that here. Huh. That might have been through, like, Makeshift or something then. Which absolutely means, oh yeah, you're not fucking getting that legit one of those anymore. Although, Fangamer does have a really nice looking playmat there in among the Balatro merch. That'd be a not half bad desk mat. I wouldn't be using it for cards because I don't play card games IRL anymore, unfortunately. Although, I mean, out of all the games, that one is pretty fitting, really. So to have it's like a merch playmat. Anyway, I do actually have the site there. Yeah, the Jimbo is long out of stock. Unfortunately, it's... unfortunately, that's the way of things. Limited time products nowadays. Makes me sad, but that's how it goes. Well, they do have that banana plush. What's that cost? 37. Ooh. $7? It's a little rough, but I kind of get it, too. Unfortunately, Flareon is not gaining any more EXPs here. That is a little bit sad, but also, I mean, how much was it poised to contribute in this battle? We'll send out Baltoy instead, because get it closer, I guess. Let's learn Sandstorm. Now, we're getting all the, like, damaging weather effects in our level up learn sets here lately, so... Those have uses, but I don't really like playing to them. I prefer to go a lot more aggro, so... Yeah, we're just gonna deal with things this way. This guy's gonna be spamming Intimidate, huh? Only the one, though, it seems. All right, then. Masquerain is bug flying, so it will take double damage from Aurora Beam. Plus, Dark type is special in this era for some reason that ultimately doesn't make sense outside of game balance. Excuse me. The game balance, of course, being that they wanted as close to an even number of physical and special types as possible. Hey, nice. Gale got to level 32. That is an important breakpoint, so we can put this Goofus in the back of the party for a little bit. Because I get to prepare to see that it doesn't get faster or something. Instead, it gets slower for some reason. 25 base speed, it really is. No, it goes up to 45. I mean, technically that's more speed, but it's not going to be outspeeding jack shit at this part of the game either. Look at that incredibly flat mustache. Dr. Robotnik feeling absolutely no threat for that one. That will put Houndoom up front, so I guess we've got a double fire front line here. Boy, I hope the boss isn't mostly water types again. Oh shit, and of course we walk right into a trainer who's got 2 water types. Yeah, of course. Motherfucker. That's great. Well, I guess we'll just use Bite on this Celio twice. It has neutral, takes neutral damage from fire, and has an ability that reduces fire damage more, so, like, this is our best bet for damage on it. Oh yeah, and of course both of our Pokemon are glass cannons, because, duh. So they get to take big damage from everything here. Holy fuck, that is some big damage. And we get speed dropped. I'm pretty sure that Houndoom is still basically safe to take this KO. Yeah, it's still the fastest thing here. We should be able to take the kill on this turn. It's going to take both hits, but we're going to get there anyway. Okay, so it did actually change targets, but that is also kind of a lot of damage. I mean, again, I guess if one of these Pokemon goes down, we bring in Baltoy for increased experience to it. But we do also kind of have this big problem of taking way too much damage from ground type attacks on this party in general. Not just the fact that we're leading off with 2 fire types, but just this party full stop. That should, however, secure the kill, and we're good to go here. Again, I do want to switch to a different one of these Pokemon at some point. I just don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Flareon that gets benched. But for now, we will continue to feed it experience to see if it makes a case for itself. I mean, truth be told, if I wanted to make this thing arguably easier on myself, I would just choose one Pokemon and have it suck down all the EXP, but hey. Yeah, it's kind of funny that happens, but I don't own a Switch 2, so the funnier part about that, to me, is that if I was going to play it that way, if I wanted to play this game legit, basically, is what I want to say, is it would cost me more to get that than it would to go on eBay and buy a copy. Because I don't have a Switch 2, and that's not a cheap thing to pick up. The game itself is not very cheap either, but like, I don't know, what, $200 or something on eBay, probably? I'm just taking a guess. I've got an eBay tab open. I can go look. I mean, the numbers might be kind of like thrown off right now because there might be some people who are trying to offload them a little bit. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as serious as that. Like, does anybody remember when the SNES Classic came out? And the SNES Classic had Earthbound on it. And there were a bunch of people who were like, oh, Earthbound is going to get cheaper now. It's like, that did not happen. Or certainly not in any appreciable manner. It may technically have been a more polite number, but in the greater scheme, I guess you do have to remember that there is a difference between cheaper and cheap. And Earthbound was never going to become cheap, but also, objectively, Earthbound did not become cheaper enough that I think it's fair to even say that shit. So, just a load of piss gargling there from folks. And I am currently digging through here a disc-only copy, the cheapest one that I've seen at like the top of the list here. I mean, I don't recall the SNES Classic actually being that expensive, is the other thing. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but I think that you probably could still pick one up for the price of an Earthbound cartridge when it came out, and that's also counting the stock issues, because LOL Nintendo, a company who's like, oh, well, we would rather not have extra stock on the shelves than let all of our fans actually have access to our shit. And I know that plenty of companies basically played the whales, but also that's kind of one of the more aggressive forms of that I've seen out there. Anywho, we're switching. Let's take a look at the list here. Okay, so we've got a couple of these for less than 150 counting delivery. This person is charging $60 and has a read description thing in it. Let's see. When I put in my Wii, it recognizes that it's a GameCube game, however, it does not play, so I am saying it does not work. Selling as is, no return, see photos for condition. I think if you resurface it, it would play fine. Pikachu. And I am going to have to pull up a picture of another disc here because that thing looks like it has been fucking mauled. Oh, sweet crusty Christ. Yeah, this thing, it has a bunch of, like, shiny bits showing through the top of the disc. No, you cannot resurface that. That thing is dead. That thing is fucking dead, dude. What did you do to that? Did you put that thing through like one of those disc destroyer machines? Earthbound cartridge only for $35 on eBay. I would say be very careful about that. That might be a fake, because that's honestly only a little bit more than I got my very fake US Earthbound cartridge for. Unless it's Mother 2, which that is a perfectly... In fact, for Mother 2, that's a little too much. Anyway, yeah, that thing is dead disc walking, so if you want a copy of this that actually works, for a disc-only copy, you'd have to shell out $150. For a copy with a box and no manual, you are handing out a minimum of $200, or no, you're handing out more like a minimum of $180, plus tax and shipping, so that is like $200. Meanwhile, complete in box is much closer to like $220 at bare minimum for Gale of Darkness. That is quite a lot, but again, if I wanted a copy of it for, you know, if I wanted to play it legit, I'd buy the GameCube version before I would buy a Switch 2 and pay a $50 tithe to Nintendo to be able to play the game. Granted, at some point, I may eventually want a Switch 2, and not gonna lie, I am rather tempted to put that on the old wish list as a thing to have as, like, if people want to crowdfund getting me a Switch 2. But right now, I'm not necessarily certain that it's personally worth it for me to just purchase a Switch 2. I mean, I also don't have $500 plus in the bank right now. So, yeah, exactly. There's kind of that too, is just like, just emulate. Nintendo doesn't deserve your money. Let's keep it a buck here, kids. No company deserves your fucking money. And even if Sony is shooting themselves in the dick right now over closing Blue Point, and even if Microsoft is doubling down after seeing Sony do that and is going, what, a pistol? What are you, some kind of pussy? I'm getting out the shotgun to shoot myself in the dick. And they're, like, sacking literally everybody on the Xbox team and sending in their AI person at the front of it. Nintendo still does not deserve your money. They are still a corporation. They're still not your friend. Give that shit to some indie devs. If you've got $500, here's my advice to you. And you got $500 and you don't know what to do with it, go buy 30 copies of Balatro and find random people to gift them to. Not that Steam deserves your money either. Gabe Newell is a multi-billionaire who owns yachts, like, and he lives on a ship. Like, that's straight up Bond villain shit, without even talking about the fact that we do very directly have him to blame for the introduction of loot boxes as we know them. And yes, a large part of the proliferation of loot boxes can be blamed on Bobby Kotick and, no kidding, Jeffrey Epstein. But also, oh boy. The guys who developed the atomic bomb are kind of fucks too, anyway. So, I apologize for my, like, sudden screaming match there and probably, like, you know, if I... Oh, whatever, I make enemies with the game companies. I don't care about them. I'm pretty sure that when the devs see how much paycheck they're making out of any of those sales and how they just immediately get sacked after developing a game for any, whether it succeeds or not, they'd probably be like, yeah, actually, emulation sounds perfectly moral now. But yeah, get your stuff off Miriant before it goes under. That's a good idea. For what it's worth, I did not know that Miriant was even a website until I heard the news about it. Which is kind of effed, but sources of information for that kind of stuff, I mean, I quite frankly do not want to be Googling how to do a piracy, because that seems like a good way to, you know, get yourself annihilated by the death squads out of nowhere. I'm going to assume that Mr. Unique Model here is this guy Gorrigan, because we heard his name earlier. And he has sort of like a little bit of an ape stance, a little bit in a way. And also because of his, like, overly swole arms. That's kind of a shock, Irene, because, yeah, the one that says uncut version, that's absolutely a hack in, like, a fake cartridge. The other one, I would highly suspect to not be legit, especially because it says new parentheses other. But, you know, if you know what you're getting into, I mean, that's actual literal piracy, but as the customer, do whatever the fuck you please. But yeah, I didn't know that Miriant was even a website for up until a point. I've mostly just been grabbing most of my stuff from Vim's Lair. Although Vim's Lair is obviously missing a few things because they kind of got... I still maintain that the guy who contacted Vim's Lair was a copyright troll, basically. That it was somebody who was faking being affiliated with those companies, because why would you literally only target like 20 games? Yeah, it's definitely a choice. I mean, to me, New Other in general is an extremely suspicious bit of, like, tag that you put on something's quality. That is just straight up guaranteed to not be a legitimate thing almost, or that there's something about that that is concerning. Besides, because, like, what the... Granted, what would you use New Other for under, like, non-suspicious uses, right? Because if it's open box, I'm pretty sure there's already an open box quality that you can list for something on eBay, so... The hell do you need that for? Granted, I've also seen some very odd usages, period, of tags that sit in a sort of similar area, such as just used in general for... Because I also sometimes shop for like electronics and stuff because I bought an old CD player a while ago, one of the big 5-disc carousel models, and let me tell you, the amount of people who are tagging their shit that is clearly broken as described as used, as opposed to the 4 parts or not working option, which is literally there for you to use for purposes like that. It literally says right there that if it's not that is part of the name of that quality is not working. So put it there if it's not fucking working. Anyway, yeah, people who sell things on eBay are it's a little hit and miss, just like anything. But yeah, the stuff that I don't necessarily have available to me through Vim, I picked up off of... Somebody gave me access to a private tracker a while ago. And to be perfectly honest with you, I can probably get most of the shit that I get off of Vim anyway, so I don't know why I use it. It's just... In my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably should do this. I have access to it and everything, so... As regards the idea of supposed to be the only way you can as looks cleaned up and passable, you can just tag it as tag it as used, and there will be like other sub qualities where you can be like, oh well, it's got this and that's what the description is for. Actually, I guess the description might be a even better telltale sign as to whether or not something is legit or not, because particularly if it's a mass-produced clone, well, you'll find that the description is not what you would call in perfect English, basically. Oh, this guy will let us heal. That's good, because that guy was kind of like mid-boss quality, but also we are opening up our party with 2 fire types like a complete fucking buffoon. But also I'm out here like, yeah, I should probably level those guys up. I mean, truth be told, it might be smarter to just go pick a different party member. Or to put Baltoy up at the front so that way it can get some EXP and get closer to evolving into Claydol. What is this weird purple stuff that's dripping out of the pipes that keeps making an effect on the ground that looks like a purple visual effect? Looks like the item ping, but purple. For hidden stuff. Slightly confusing. Shadow... I don't think I like that phrase, but fair enough. Actually, that just reminds me of what Zoop Soul used to describe the spider webbing stuff for your bombs in Spelunky as, so... Massive. Wow, that's a huge throwback! Anyway, we had some PP up, speaking of... Anyway. Yeah, easy jokes. But also, 2 PP up, that is obscenely generous for a Pokemon game. That's like as many as you get in a regular campaign anyway. We also picked up a Firestone, which is probably completely useless for me, actually. And because I walked off the edge in a dumb way there, we're going to have to reset the room. That's okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Also, if he had stuck around after his reboot, I mean, he probably wouldn't have been, like, mega popular because at that point, new LPers weren't really getting attention anymore. And, you know, that may be a soft reset, but it's a reset nevertheless. And if he hadn't just completely flounced from our community over the fact that he showed up again months later, and people wouldn't really have known who he was as well, asking for donations and then getting very aggrieved about nobody doing anything. Like, okay, I understand that you think it sucks, but you don't look good when you say that. And granted, again, being like, oh yeah, he would have been, you know, he would have had an audience on Brywheel, but, you know, like, who the hell are any of us, unfortunately? But it is also like, yeah, guy never really stood a chance. He didn't. That's fair, though. I entirely believe that at some point I'm going to have, like, a big stupid crash out over something that's going to seem really pathetic. But hopefully not anytime soon. Regardless, never mind. New other on eBay means an item is unused and in original condition, but does not qualify as brand new because it may be missing its original packaging, have damaged packaging, or be unsealed. I mean, I would think at least some of those would be covered under open box anyway, wouldn't they? But, nah. eBay's policies are not necessarily, a very simple thing to... Oh, son of a quark. How do I get over here? Can I just... Okay, no, I do have space for it. This is actually quite simple, and I'm just dumb, that's all. Cool as a cucumber, and I have 1 billion fans. I did pop in briefly, I think it was last night, it was recently, for the little bit of Dream Team that I saw you stream. Partners in Time, pardon me, not Dream Team. And you definitely had a chat that was kind of popping. So, I mean, I definitely think that you, probably out of all of us, other than Brian when he's doing TRB, no offense to the rest of his content, have the juice, Roundy. Like, comparatively. I mean, it is also the matter of, like, you were playing Partners in Time versus you were playing various puzzle games. And I love those games, but let's not kid ourselves. Lemming streamers aren't a thing because that is an extreme niche. Alan's consistently better than... You are correct, but also he has definitely been, like, in the depths of black liquid sorrow lately, so that guy needs to get back on it, I think, for me to say much. Man, I'm, like, consistent, like, man, I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably, like, the most severely despair-prone out of... Which is kind of amazing, because I think I definitely am, like, also quite... you know, if you were to get me at the right time, I try to keep certain subject matter off, and also, how am I supposed to do this? Is this a stealth section? Am I supposed to, like, walk slowly? because otherwise I'm slightly confused. Like, I will definitely hit some, like, lows at times, but... I also, like, to at least try to hold a lot of that stuff back slightly. But yeah. Usually finish before... Yeah. Yeah, I think that usually most of us tend to be a little bit later than Roundy does, so... Okay, yeah, so it is literally just... Well, at least I hope it is. We actually did that successfully. That is a pain in the... You want to write a novel with me as a character. You know, I'm not really sure what to make of this scenario. Except that it rhymes with drown siesta. At least we got some leftovers out the deal. And yeah, there is that. You are also currently employed as a teacher, which, as I've said before, teacher in Texas, that is pretty noble of you. You know, that feels like something that we need more of, and more of them to be good at it. Regardless of subject. I mean, granted, I think the quality of education in this country is not super amazing, period, no matter where you are. For a variety of reasons, but, yeah, hey, dude, do you want to hear about this baby pseudo-wudo that we're not going to be allowed to have in our party for a couple of years? Because, for some reason, they just had a preview of Bonsly in here. Like, big, loud question marks. Playing the game you most closely associate with him. I did not know the guy very well, so I have minimal that I can say, other than obviously the standard condolences with regard to his passing, and, you know, good on you for doing something in honor of the guy. I'll pass through depending on what the scheduled time there is and see what's up. Because, yeah, as you are well aware, I stream at what is now a fairly fixed time of day every day that I stream. So I've at least got that part of a schedule down. It took me like years to get to this point, but here we are. Decent bit of consistency in how long it lasts and when it starts. Finally, 10 effing years since I started this bullshit. Probably more than that, actually. I don't recall, but I digress. Oh, Team Snag 'em. Oh, gee, I wonder if they're a bunch of thieves. Team Lobot. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, dude, that was 5 years ago when you last had a game in this location, I guess. So. Oh no, not my dual disc. Hey, so, shoutouts that I think this is actually the first time in the entire series that any Pokemon villain has the one brain cell to go, we have access to these unimaginably powerful creatures. We should literally just send them straight after the trainer. We should just, you know, attack your life points directly, right? But, like, almost no cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That do that are good, so maybe the description doesn't work entirely, but... Galaxy Brain unlock. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, they finally realize, oh, hey, yeah, have our Gloom use a sleep powder on this dude. The next time it comes up in the games is Getsus. And it's Black and White 2 Getsus. He has to get his ass kicked by a fucking 15-year-old in order to think, holy shit, I have the power of a legendary Pokemon at my disposal. Kill that little bitch. Which is basically what happens, is that he gains control of Kyurem. He doesn't capture Kyurem, he hijacks it because of, like, weird nonsense. And he tries to have it use Glaciate on you, which, to be fair, would do, like, no damage. But to a human being, I mean, that is pretty serious, you know. Just kind of a massive shock that it takes that long. But also, I am glad they don't use it very often, because the more you do that... The more you do that, the more the entire, like, premise of the world falls apart. Because eventually it starts to go from being a shocking move to making you go, okay, so why the fuck didn't, like, Lusamine just try to straight up kill us? Or Chairman Rose. That guy seems even less ethical. I mean, he's also too stupid to think of it, but less ethical nevertheless. I don't think we have to heal, but I'm doing it anyway. You're on day 2 of trying to get FF7. Disc 2 has 3 hours left. Oh, jeez. That's rough. Well, why don't you just get the version on Steam? This is a joke, because the version on Steam, Square Enix fucked it up again. God. Excuse me. Square Enix has been on a massive losing streak the last, like, decade plus. It's not literally constant L's, because they've had some good stuff here and there. I mean, Shadowbringers is pretty nice. But, oh boy. Oh, hey, I remember this guy from earlier. Dashing and terrific. I mean, look at this dude. Kick his ass, Seabass. Team snag him, Biden. Holy fuck. I forgot that these dudes just have a guy named Biden in their party. Oh, man. I think that the Team Snag'em goon named Biden was actually in the previous game as well. In fact, Can I get that information just from the Shadow Pokemon list here on this website that is called Bulbapedia? And the answer is yes. Yeah, okay, so this guy was also in Colosseum. And he had a Shadow Smeargle. Which, I mean, something kind of funny about that. I feel like Smeargle would be one of those Pokemon that would be fitting to shove into a place like this. And you could just load it down with crazy shit. Which is why the Colosseum Shadow Smeargle's non-shadow moves that it remembers are Tail Whip, Double Slap, and Iron Tail. And it gets sketched when you purify it, so at least you can give it one good move. Team Deadpine lost to Thug Trump. Jesus. I mean, that guy looks like he'd vote for Trump a little bit. Like, this is a guy whose, like, entire diet is probably, like, creatine powder. And maybe some red meat, if he remembers. Oh, are you outright admitting that you're a Cypher goon? Or is he just a random thug? Yeah, so unfortunately we are currently snag machine-less, so I believe we're going to have to let this dude Zangoose just kind of not get captured. Unless they will let me ball it in the middle of the fight, in which case, well, then whatever I said earlier was kinda pointless. Meanwhile, we're gonna chomp this Doduo, and quick attack on the Zangoose. Shouldn't kill it, but it should... Oh god, it did like nothing. That is kind of a surprise, because Zangoose is made of paper, basically. Serious glass cannon of a Pokemon. I'm seeing double! 4 Doduos! I do love Doduo, but unfortunately I don't think we get access to a Shadow one in this. I'm gonna take a look now, actually. Oh, we do actually get a Shadow Dodrio later. That's cool. We're switching Houndoom out. I don't like that we have Carvana there. Here, you know what? Just throw a regular Pokeball. I want to make sure if it doesn't... Yeah. It's no good. It's no use! Wait, wrong game. Switch that out. And let's try hitting it with some Ember. Lord, when do we get, like... When do we get Flamethrower? Or am I gonna have to actually just take the L and buy the Fire Blast TM? I know, I say take the L like it's actually a bad move or anything, and it's pretty okay, but also kind of underwhelming. I mean, it's better that, I suppose, than feeding Ampharos Thunder, which that is like a real, oh boy. You're in rough waters here, ain't ya? Unless you've got a rain setter on your team, which, haha. Hardy har har.
Oh god, level 52 to get Flamethrower on Flareon. Yeah, I think somebody is getting benched for that. Yeah, never mind. Houndoom, you are going to be the fire type for sure, and we're going to pick up something different to be in our party. Silver medal for that. Oh. Catch me out here almost missing the obvious reaction to my own bad joke because I was too busy thinking about how much these moves suck. Yeah, level 52 to get Flamethrower on Flareon. We do get a better fire move at 36, and by better, I mean worse because it's Fire Spin! God damn. Our level up move pool for Flareon is garbage. Level 36 Fire Spin. Level 30 Bite, which we already have. Level 42 Smog. You're kidding me, right? God, they loved putting Smog on, like, just garbage fire types in this era, didn't they? There's a couple of others, like, I think Magmar has that. Magmar nowadays is, like, actually kind of good for double battles because it can use Follow Me. And also just the fire type is more valuable in general lately. So you can use that to, like, affect the battle momentum pretty heavily. It's surprisingly decent for being Magmar. And also because Magmortar is kind of like infamously garbage for some reason. Anyway, yeah, level 42 Smog, level 47 Leer, which, gee, I just keep Tail Whip at that point. And as I said, level 52 Flamethrower. So yeah, not exactly what you would call an impressive move pool by any stretch of the imagination. Let's send out Celio. Because, honestly, why not? We'll throw Mud Slap at the Relicanth. Relicanth. The funny rockfish. Which, clearly it's a rock type because a coelacanth is considered to be a living fossil, right? It's on theme! It's not just making this Pokemon worse by making it fold instantly to any grass type attack, I swear. It's alright, at least more recent Relicanths can use Head Smash. Which hits like a truck made of other trucks. Although, yeah, Relicanth is not really a Pokemon that has stats. I wouldn't even say it's not a Pokemon with good stats. It's not a Pokemon with stats, full stop. Gen 8, you don't get Body Press, do you? It's a champ. Oh, it does get Body Press, which at least is nice, because it has like 130 defense or something as a base stat. You could hurt someone with that. It wouldn't be your best strategy or anything, but I mean, you could do it. This can't be happening! What are you, in Eternal Darkness? Get out of here! Oh yeah, this guy is mauling hard. Oh, it was a fluke. How could you beat me? I'm too strong. Yeah, I think my earlier judgment about this dude probably being a Trump voter is absolutely... Thanks, Roundy. I didn't know that I wanted... I don't think I knew that I was okay with thinking about that, but here we are. Anywho. Let's go and heal our asses up here. After we decide which of our not impressive Pokemon we really want to use in our position that was formerly... is now going to be formerly occupied by this goofball anyway. And I'm thinking it's going to be Roselia, but first of all, set Flareon down. Let's go get our charcoal back real quick. Because that extra 10% on Ember might end up saving our butts with some... Oh, right. You're only allowed a certain amount of item types in these games. You know, I've just taken that for granted for many years now, actually. I kind of straight up forgot that that was a thing even this far into the era. I don't know when that started to not be a thing, so... Yeah. Glass Flute snaps Pokemon out of confusion. Is honestly kind of useful, but I might just sell it if it's only worth like... Oh, it's only worth like 100, so I think I might pass on that, actually. This would... Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to dump the pills or if I want to use them. Because this feels like a game where they would actually kind of come in handy because you don't fight a ton of Pokemon overall. Well, I definitely don't need the stones right now. I can go store those. Oh, not there. I mean, that music is kind of a bop, but... Yeah, leaf stone. The Macho Brace could probably get sold. Store that. PP ups are not good for a while yet, actually, so... That's absolutely going in the storage. Anyway, now that we're done goofing around here, there we go. I use my words correctly. You know what, Ursaring? You can have the leftovers for now. On account of the fact that you don't have one of the items that I'd want you to take advantage of. So yeah, Roselia is going to come into our party and is going to be our grass type for now. I mean, again, I could probably be raising Shroomish and it would evolve into a grass fighting type, which would theoretically be quite useful. But I still am not a big fan of Breloom, to be honest with you, so... Put you up front and give it the... I have a Miracle Seed, right? I don't, actually. I don't have a Poison Barb either, shockingly enough. It's okay. That doesn't really matter too much right now because we just have shadow moves. But instead of trying to push the plot forward, first I'm actually going to go to the Pyrite Coliseum so that way I can get a few free send-ins and a little bit of EXP for it. Oh, hey, look who's over on the other side there. That's funny. We have Shadow Waves, so we can hit both Pokemon in this engagement for some shadow damage. Target the Rhyhorn because it's clearly the stronger Pokemon by virtue of not being Wingull. Roselia is so tiny, it's kind of funny. I remember when I first saw that in one of these games and I was surprised because the sprites don't really give you a true sense of scale. Sentret feels like the one that's actually more of a threat. That's how bad Skitty is. Although, I mean, I'd say it can pull out its strong move. Well, Thrash is something. Yeah, so I guess Miracle probably has the actual moves here. Oh, wow, actually pulling back the trap inch. That is not actually what I would expect to get yanked back. But hey, it's going to be out there anyway. One last guy here. Ooh, yeah, double intimidate. That is some mean shit to see, but I think we're going to be okay here. It's not like we're weak or anything, so it should be fine. Oh, I think he's prepping for a dynamic punch. I can switch this guy. Houndoom has a lot of experience. Oh, that's all you were gonna do with that? You had me worried for nothing. You jerk. Can't believe I got played by this guy. And hey, oh, Baltoy gained the level. I was like, oh hey, Houndoom still gained a level. But no, I was wrong. You know what? Sure, let's go again. Even though it is just kind of like, hey, yeah, here you want to waste huge amounts of your stream time? Well, I don't mind doing that. We got a couple of Zergle Pokemon here. Oh, you do this. Oh. I dislike that immeasurably. But we're gonna try to take Swablu down now, because... yeah, that's enough of that bullshit. Yep, just keep going. I'm surprised I haven't gotten a reverse mode to happen yet. Maybe it's just blocked from happening in the arenas? I have no idea. Oh, hey, look, there's Spheal again. A very good Pokemon. It's even kind of doing a little colon 3 face. Jigglypuff might live this, just because Jigglypuff is usually got like huge HP stats. Yeah.
Oh, he's using defense curl. Well, that's the great thing, is that we don't give a shit about that. We don't have any, like, physical attacks in this part of the lineup. Nothing exists. Also, yeah, Houndoom is going to be sitting on Ember as its fire attack until level 51. Eesh. At least it's got other good moves. Well. Okay, actually, it's learned set is kind of butts too. Nevertheless, I still think I like it more than I liked Flareon. Ah, you learned Grass-type Sing, which is a move that exists for some reason. There's a move tutor that has some very unusual stuff for us to... that we can learn. We've got Mimic, Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave, Icy Wind, Substitute, Dream Eater, Swagger, Body Slam, Nightmare of all moves available right now. Okay, so reverse mode can actually happen in this area. I was starting to wonder because... yeah. Now these Houndoom can learn Body Slam. Kind of cool. Make playable Mirror Shield C3 sprite. Oh, neat. That's fun. Why does Doduo make the exact same noise as Diglett? Yeah. Like, there's a couple of shared cries in Gen 1, but that's a big one that I remember just because I also like, I really like both Doduo and Diglett. Diglett sits in a very special type of Pokemon for me in terms of ones that I enjoy, which are when the evolution is just more of the goofy little guy. Diglett and Magnemite are like the prime examples of that, where it's just the same but more of them. And there's something about that that I find very funny.
Larvitar is probably the bigger threat here. Especially because this is pre-fairy type. Nice. Level 30 for Houndoom. So somebody is in good shape right now. Meanwhile, Snubble is using Bulk Up, which, yeah, unfortunately is not going to do you a whole lot of good. Yeah, the color on Snubble's model just looks a little bit off. I don't know if it's the lighting or what. But yes, I think I've brought this up before, but the 3D games on console of this era are all using models from previous of the 3D games. Like, for example, Stadium used the Stadium 1 models, and then the new Gen 2 Pokemon had new models. This game just uses the Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 models for everything pre-Gen 3. And Pokemon Battle Revolution just uses the old models for everything pre-Gen 4. A few of them got minor corrections, like Electabuzz having 6 fingers was fixed at some point. I forget when. But it did happen at some point. Because, yeah, prior to that, Electabuzz did, in fact, have 6 fingers. And then they were like, oh, yeah, actually, we should switch that. So, yeah, I think I'm supposed to go talk to these guys. Because there's some bullshit happening. It's the fact that I'm missing my weird Yu-Gi-Oh device. Oh, you can probably hear the dogs in the background because there's a TV like right outside the door that somebody's watching. And whenever another dog comes on TV, one of them starts barking at the TV. Not even just a dog, any small furry animal, really. Electabuzz, the AI generator. That's just rude. He's like Count Rugen. All right, what do you guys got to say here? Yeah, they sure did. It's no good. It's no use, indeed. Ah, they're just goofing off on their own. Well, I guess I can try to do that. Yeah, so nobody else is any real major help. They just are here to be like, hey, things. Hey, you know that piece of information you already know? Well, we can tell it to you again for some reason. Anyone here have anything else new to say?
I have a feeling nobody here has any new information. At least for right now. Yeah, just keep dreaming, buddy. You're quite the guy. Yeah, that's a very... That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, you actually have something to go off of. They probably saw it on the news. Yeah, what's the deal? Named Hordell. Outskirt stand. Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for the information. There is rather a lot going on right now. The plot is splitting again. Kind of a surprise for a Pokemon game, actually. Now, are you the... It's the exact same as before. Yeah, it looks like good stuff is going on. People here are mostly in high spirits, and we actually got some information out of someone. Kind of impressive. What is your purple meter sitting at? It probably hasn't changed very much. Not that much, that's for sure. Well, I guess it depends a lot on how much it takes to get that animated. Oh, well, if it's not hard to animate, then... I mean, why not, right? Right, you, do you have anything else to say, or are you just standing here? Oh. He's just standing here. I mean, wow, we got these two muscle goons here. Ah, I see. So it's not actually a plot divergence. It's just that. Ah, I see. So yeah, we can't do anything with this place. But we can go to the outskirt stand. This is the place where you start the game in Coliseum. So it is very funny that it's showing up this much later. Oh, apparently, the goofball is here. Belch? We're not playing Earthbound. What are you talking about Belch for?
Oh, there he is. When did you get here? Yeah. There he is. The best boss in Pokemon. Well, probably the best boss in Pokemon. Not the greatest start for us to have right now, but I think we'll probably be okay. We actually somehow got a kill there. I'm kind of surprised. Because I expected that Shadow Wave damage to be Garbo. Yeah, that is not as bad as all that. That gives me enough time and damage here to actually get some work going. And you've got Nose Pass. It's a Shadow Pokemon, and unfortunately, we cannot deal with that right now. But that does also mean that Shadow Wave is going to be even less useful than it usually is. Oh! Do you not have Rain... It must have Swift Swim, then. Because I guess that's the other ability it could have besides Rain Dish. Yeah, it's got to be Swift Swim, then. It took me a moment to actually figure that out. That I could even do that. Oh, he's got Ludicolo, too. That's going to be a very powerful Pokemon. But also, man, I do love Ludicolo a lot. What an extremely goofy creature this is. Oh yeah, Houndoom, you're not dead, shockingly. Wow. Okay. That thing must have rolled real low on its stats. And yeah, Retro, here he is. Of course, Nose Pass continues to take like 0 damage from Shadow Wave, but that's fine. We just do what we have to for a little bit here. And by that, I mean we are switching out to... We're switching out to Celio, I guess. No, I'll switch out to Ursaring. Comparatively, Ursaring could stand having the experience. I'm not going to Grass Whistle. That's a complete coin toss. Grass Whistle only has a 55% chance to proc, so for all I know, it might not do shit. Oh, wow, he retargeted instead of just trying to go for the kill. But I guess flinching is not necessarily a bad choice in that case, but yeah. I don't think this will do too much damage because Nose Pass is basically just kind of Gen 3 Onyx. It's a garbage fully evolved rock type that exists to give an early rock gym leader a fully evolved Pokemon. And then they added another evolution for it later called Probopass, which is better, but still kind of shit. I mean, I guess you just have to deal with the unfortunate realities sometimes of being rock steel. And yeah, that's a little bit of a rough place to be in. Hey, the rain stopped. So there's basically every possibility that we can kill this thing before it attacks. Because I think it should be slower than Roselia now. It's over, Probopass. I have the ground. It's also doubly weak to fighting, too, which is like... Oh, delete move for rest. I mean... On paper, that's probably decent, but that is not my bag. Yeah, it's one of those things... It's like... Aggron is a Pokemon that... Genuinely, I think that if its Mega Stone literally didn't give it any other stats and just changed it to pure Steel... it would still be noticeably better than playing regular Aggron in any form. You punch the steel-coated boulder in real life, you break your hand. But in Pokemon, that's just good strategy. It sure is. I'll be right back again. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Aggron and Probopass, both Pokemon that are severely hamstrung by their type. But I don't know that Probopass could necessarily do a ton, whereas Aggron is pretty great aside from the type. Probopass gets, like, Zap Cannon. So, if you're insane, you can do that.
Yeah, we know about that. No sign of the numerous Pokemon aboard the ship. Except for the one that somehow managed to not be captured because they're not allowed to have it either. This guy has items available. Probably not a bad idea to pick up Ultra Balls or something. Yeah. Blood from Cypher's Key layer way in the north. It's made to mass-produce shadow Pokemon. Is that what the purple stuff is for? The Shadow Togepi you fled from. Yep. Oh, you can't just shove it straight into my PC. God damn it, I'm gonna have to come back here. Ran out to Eclo Canyon. You found the building that was Team Snag'em's hideout. I mean, maybe. I mean, that's certainly me. Yeah, aren't you the guy who just had like a Zigzagoon or something when Wes fought you? Maybe he gained a real team since then. Operating out of their old hideout north of the outskirts stand. Gotcha. Well, at least we should be having that on the map soon, right? Yeah. Thanks, dude. Ah, yes, here we go. Here's Willie, the only guy in this region with a normal name. Except for the guy named Biden, but... that's a different name portion that's normal. And yeah, look at this clown. He's got a couple of Zigzagoons. I should have healed before I came to this fight, but hey. With a little bit of luck, I will be okay. As long as they don't start dropping quick attack and stuff. Oh, Linoon is significantly better. Mostly by virtue of being a hell of a lot faster, I guess. But, hey, that's certainly something, actually. That was not aimed where I thought it would be, but... okay. This is not where I'm going to double rotate. No, we're not double switching. Unless we're forced to take another switch this turn, I guess. We'll put Ampharos in. Okay, good. No pursuit. The way that took a second, I thought there was going to be a pursuit in my future. But thankfully, no. Unfortunately, Linoon did not go down there. But it flinched. Meanwhile, Zigzagoon is digging. Put Baltoy in, because it won't take damage from Dig depending on if it's aimed there. Which I would assume it to be, because otherwise, why would he dig at the grass type? Because he didn't know what I was switching to.
Yep, I told you. That was not going to work on me. Psybeam there. I don't trust Ampharos to outspeed even the regular one. Oh. Butt out, buddy. I mean, it's no surprise that that thing is fast enough that it can do that, but still. Switch Ursaring in. Oh, no, no, no. Wrong way. Wrong way. Psybeam. And then switch Ursaring in. So he'll take some damage, but he won't be weak to it. I don't think that would have killed, but it could have been pretty bad. Say that much. And yeah, thankfully Ursaring gets leftovers recovery. Yeah, we switch back to headbutts because we have nothing that's ground weak on the field. Well, at least that wasn't too hard of an ambush fight. We just are going to have to head towards that Snag'em hideout pretty soon. Wouldn't be a bad idea to work on getting our Roselia finished, no longer being a shadow type. Honestly, spending money on this is probably not very useful, but it's fine. We got plenty of cash to distribute here. It took quite a lot of waiting. How done is that? Not quite yet. Leech Seed. That is a fairly useful move, but I feel like Roselia is a little too flimsy to really take great advantage of that. Oh, flimsy Steve. Yeah, one more chunk, so I could probably just grab this, and we could basically get that all wrapped up here right near the end of the show. So we're pretty close. We just go run around a bit if we need to, in order to finish this off. actually, genuinely, how... That really took off like less than half of a unit there. I guess you get diminishing returns as you get closer to finishing out the experience gauge. I don't know the actual amount of shadow gauge that any of those scents take away. Let me see if it says anything here. Oh, it's nature dependent, apparently. Interesting. Nature, modest nature. It's minus 100, that's at least some. Oh no, the numbers are different. Game, I was looking at the wrong chart. It's still about the same, so. Yeah, I know, a watched pot never boils, but still. Probably a little bit more. There we go. Told you. Gain Magical Leaf, which is kind of usable. I forget if that's area of effect or not. Sweet Kiss. I mean, it causes confusion, but still. 24. A lot of delay between these text boxes for some reason. Yay! We have a new member of our party. Which is slightly lower level, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We can fix that with time and not necessarily that much of it. But yeah, it's been about 3 hours, so let's save. And that will do for tonight. We'll pick this up tomorrow.